What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rugged Adventures. You're going to notice in this video that I'm wearing two different shirts. Why is that? That is because when I came down here to shoot it last time, I didn't turn on my fancy pants microphone, and so I got a lot of video without any sound to it. So if you guys are YouTubers out there, be sure to check your microphone before you start. And be sure to hit the subscribe button down below, because I had to come out here twice to record this, and diesel is still over $5 a gallon where I am, so I would really appreciate that. But today we are going to be looking at, we're going to be fact-checking something that President Biden has said. He went on camera and said that a 9mm just like this would
blows the lung out of the body.
And the thing is, I have a little experience in trauma care, and it's not going to be a good day if you get hit by a 9mm or any other type of bullet. But the chances of it blowing your lung out of the body like you had been hit by like a 50 cal or a 30-06 or something like that, that really would probably take a chunk of you off, probably isn't the case. But then he was also on camera several years prior saying that, you know, if you ever got into a self-defense situation, that all you would need is
just walk out on the balcony here, or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house.
He said use a double barrel 12 gauge. We have a 6-shot pump action Mossberg 500 that we're going to try this out with. But what he even said was that you should just point the shotgun into the air out the window and give 2 blasts with the shotgun. And now we can do that here because we're sitting on 52 acres of private shooting range, private land. No one is around, and you know, shotgun pellets don't go too terribly far. But not only is it horribly unsafe to just point a 12 gauge out of your window and just blast off 2 blasts, it's most likely in any residential area highly illegal. So what we're going to do today is we're going to see the difference between using a 9mm, like out of this P365, versus 2 blasts from a shotgun. We're going to be using a pineapple because I think that more realistically kind of goes with how your lungs are. I was going to use like watermelon or whatever, but that's a little bit harder on the outside. We're going to see what happens, or we're going to see if which is worse, getting hit by a 9mm or 2 blasts from a shotgun. So first up, we're going to try the 9mm, see if that blows the lungs out of your body. We are using the SIG P365. If you guys can see that, I did a video on that a couple weeks ago. I'll leave a link to it. And we're just using this typical full metal jacket, 115 grain, 9mm from about 21 feet. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. And that's just one. We'll see what happens if we put a few more through it. It took about 5 shots for us to cut this thing completely in half. And the first one, I don't really think it did much of anything. You know, obviously it went in. Obviously it hit the pineapple, did damage. But it did take us 5 shots in order for us to get it like this. And so we're going to see what happens next when we use the 12 gauge. We're going to use just standard birdshot and buckshot loads. And then this is where we're going to cut to what we did last week when I remembered to actually turn the microphone on. Okay, so we saw what the 9mm ended up doing to that pineapple. So the next one up is going to be just your typical birdshot target load out of a 2 3/4 12 gauge. Just, you know, your typical federal 2 3/4. We're going to be shooting that out of a just run-of-the-mill Mossberg 500, you know, pump action shotgun, and we're going to put 2 blasts into it as he has recommended, and we will see what that does to the target. If it ends up knocking it over, we'll just walk up, we'll pick it up, and shoot it again. So let's get started with that. So as you can see, it was pretty obvious that even the target load bird shot ended up just blowing that thing to smithereens. I mean, this is all that is left of that pineapple after we had shot it twice. And I think it was pretty obvious when we shot it the very first time that it just absolutely decimated that pineapple in ways that 9mm did. So we saw how devastating the target load is. What we have here are these are Federal 2 3/4 double-aught buck. If that will focus on that, I don't know if it will or it will not, but we're gonna give this a try. I don't know how much worse it could be than what we just did, but you know, the heck with it, let's give it a shot. Get our hearing protection on here and see what happens. So there you go. I mean, I don't really think that the double-aught buck really hit this thing any harder or any better or whatever than the target load. And obviously there's a lot of energy in those larger pellets, and you know, it would do more damage to maybe a more substantial target, but there was really no difference at all in the range that we are. We're only about 21 feet away, which is usually where I shoot, you know, pistol rounds from. And so I didn't really notice any difference in that at all. But here's the deal. We have an extra pineapple. We bought more than we needed, and we have the old Glock 40. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and shoot that. This is the type of handgun that a lot of law enforcement uses, a lot of FBI, CIA. It is essentially a cut down 10mm so that it is more controllable for the, you know, average officer or a female officer or whatever. So we're going to blast it with this, see if there's any difference between that and the 9mm, and then we'll wrap things up. The 40 cal, we're just using the standard snub nose 40 cal Smith & Wesson. These are 180 grain. I looked at the box that my 9mm came in. I said they're 155, but they're actually 147 grain. So let's load up this this Glock 23 and see if it has any more damage. I'll shoot it like 3 times like I did with the 9mm. See if it does any more damage than that, and see if maybe this would be more likely to blow the lungs out of your body versus a 2 blast from a shotgun. So that was actually much more dramatic than the 9mm that we put through there. It did a lot more than I thought it was going to be honest with you. I was searching through my bag. I thought I had some hollow points, but I didn't. So all we were using, like I said, was these snub nose 40 cal bullets. But if you look at the difference, and this is also, it's got a blunt tip on it. If you look at the difference between the 9mm and the 40 cal, which is, this is, you know, 10mm a bullet, it is substantially larger, and it has a substantially larger flat tip there to the end. So that could have been the deciding factor that made this end up blowing up so much more than the 9mm did. And so I think that one there may have a really good chance of, you know, opening a huge hole in you and, you know, maybe blowing the lung out of the body, but I don't think it's gonna like just suck it out like a 50 cal would, or maybe a 308 or a 338 Lapua or something like that, that is really going to cause like just mortally instantaneous damage. So guys, there you have it. That is the difference between a 9mm versus a 2 blast from a 12 gauge. Which one will actually blow the lungs out of your body? If you guys haven't subscribed yet, subscribe down below, because the thing is, 99.3% of the viewers on this channel are not subscribed, and I want you guys to subscribe so that you don't miss any of this stuff that I'm coming out with, and so that we can get more cool stuff in here to demonstrate for you guys, especially if some of this stuff isn't allowed to be had in the areas that you guys live in, either in a different state or a different country. So subscribe down below, hit that like button for me. I appreciate you guys watching today, and I'll see you in the next one. This was a really delicious idea. This was a good video. Yeah.